All right, let's jump right in. Today in this explainer, we are taking on a massive, honestly mind-bending topic, knowing the unknowable, the ultimate paradox of God. I mean, how can a creator be infinitely beyond our human comprehension and yet deeply, intimately knowable at the exact same time? It's a tension that has literally kept theologians up at night for centuries, but today we're going to break down exactly how this profound paradox actually works.
To really get this, we have to start by looking at the difference between just reading someone's autobiography and actually hanging out with them. Think about it like having a roommate. If you have a roommate, but you're always out and you literally never spend any time together, you don't really know them, do you? I mean, you know facts about them. Studying history or reading a book gives you the details, for sure. But truly knowing someone, that requires intentional, actual communion.
So, the crucial point we are wrestling with today is this beautiful, simultaneous truth. Humans can have a true, deeply personal knowledge of God, and yet we will never, ever know Him exhaustively. It's kind of like trying to scoop up the entire ocean with a teacup. You absolutely have real, genuine ocean water in your cup, right? But you certainly don't contain the whole ocean.
To really grasp the sheer scale of this divide, let's think about it through a modern lens. Could a finite, artificial intelligence tool, no matter how wildly advanced or complex it gets, ever fully comprehend the vast, nuanced human mind that programmed it in the first place? No way! A creation just cannot hold the full capacity to understand its creator. If we constantly surprise and baffle our own friends and family, how could we possibly expect to map out the entire mind of a supreme being?
And that logic naturally brings us to this staggering declaration from the book of Isaiah. The scriptures make it crystal clear that the Creator's mind operates on a plane infinitely higher than His creation. It's not just that God knows more facts than we do. The very nature of His thoughts and His ways are separated from ours by a distance comparable to the vastness between the heavens and the earth.
So, why exactly do our minds fall so short? Well, there are really four clear reasons here. First off, it's just basic math. An infinite being versus a finite creature simply doesn't compute. Second, God holds these perfectly balanced yet seemingly contrasting attributes. Think about wrath and grace, or justice and boundless patience, all functioning together in ways we just don't ever see in our world. Third, there's the reality that human sin actively distorts truth for selfish ends, which really clouds our vision. And finally, He just intentionally chooses to keep certain secrets to Himself.
That final point is actually anchored right in Deuteronomy 29, which serves as this definitive reminder that some mysteries are exclusively God's to hold on to. The things that are revealed, those belong to us, for us to use and understand. But there is a strict, undeniable boundary line. There is a whole vault of knowledge that just isn't meant for human consumption.
Now, you might be thinking, well, why would a loving creator withhold information from us? Actually, scratch that. A much better question is, why shouldn't He? Think of it like a responsible parent feeding a baby milk before they give them solid food, or hiding the harsh, crushing realities of the world from a toddler. God is protecting us from what we just aren't equipped to handle yet. It's an act of profound parental care, not Him being stingy. And let's look at why that protection is so necessary. Because there's a vital warning here. Complete familiarity breeds contempt. We see this tragic progression in the fall of Lucifer, and of course with Adam and Eve. They grew so familiar that it bred this deep-seated pride, culminating in the ultimate overstep, the literal desire to be God. Having absolute comprehension would completely blur the line between creator and creation, and that leads straight to disastrous pride.
Because of that, realizing we can't fully grasp everything shouldn't make us just throw our hands up in despair. Instead, it should birth this profound humility in us. It means recognizing that we're always going to be students. It cultivates a constant sense of awe and wonder, allowing us to hold on to our beliefs with deep conviction even when they're totally laced with inexplicable mystery. Honestly, that is the very definition of faith, a robust, eager affirmation of what we can't fully comprehend.
Okay, but if we stop right there, we might totally despair at the mystery. So let's shift our focus to the magnificent antithesis, the knowable God, knowing Him truly, personally, and sufficiently.
The amazing thing is, humanity hasn't just been left alone in the dark to guess. God has deliberately made Himself knowable through specific, tangible avenues. Primarily, we see this through His Word, but also so vitally through corporate worship and fellowship with others. By genuinely engaging with other believers, much like we see with the early church in Acts chapter 2, we actually get to experience different facets of God's character firsthand through our shared lives.
And knowing Him isn't just supposed to be some casual weekend pursuit either. According to the prophet Jeremiah, it should literally be our absolute greatest delight.
Out of all the things a human being could possibly achieve, accumulate, or boast about in this fleeting life, the only truly valid thing worth boasting about is that we understand and know the Creator.
So why is this so absolutely essential for us? Well, knowing God is the literal foundation of eternal life, as we see in John 17. It is the very driving engine and heart of the new covenant in Hebrews. It was the Apostle Paul's primary overriding goal in Philippians, easily overshadowing all of his other massive achievements. And ultimately, in 1 John, we learn it's the true source of genuine love. You literally cannot genuinely love without knowing God, because God is love.
When we bring all this together, synthesizing these two sides of the paradox, this fascinating dynamic emerges. Living in the tension of his incomprehensibility cultivates awe, wonder, and humility, while his knowability gives us firm, unshakable conviction. The mystery side requires faith, while the clear revelation removes any ambiguity about what he demands of us. Together, they create a believer who is staggeringly reverent, yet fiercely grounded and eager to study his word.
As we wrap this up, we really have to grasp this critical difference. While we will never, ever, in this life or the next, possess absolute, exhaustive knowledge of God, we have been given knowledge about Him that is absolutely true. This personal, relational knowledge is so deeply true and so incredibly sufficient for us to live faithfully that it is literally worth dying for. We really have no excuse to say He's entirely hidden.
So, I want to leave you with this final, provocative question to chew on, which brings us right back to our opening analogy. As you walk out your faith in your daily life, are you treating the Creator of the universe like a distant roommate you just know a few random facts about? Or are you pursuing Him as an intimate friend that you truly know? Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep seeking, and I'll catch you next time.